fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined with none other than Adam Smith. Adam, we have a really big week ahead of us.
We do.
Big fight, toughest fight of Joshua's career thus far.
We have a huge week, and we're right in the midst of it already. Really enjoyed having the main press conference at Sky HQ the other day. It was a fantastic turnout. It was wonderful to see so many media from around the world there. Terrific. Joseph Parker seems calm, relaxed. He's obviously in tremendous shape. But also, as we saw at the packed workout last night, Anthony Joshua is in fantastic condition. I mean, we followed him obviously on Sky from the very beginning after he turned pro with Matchroom, and you know, I've seen him evolve, and I think that certainly the time I've spent in camp with him this time, he looks lighter, he looks sleeker, he's worked a lot on his legs, and I think he's in unbelievable shape.
Both men look a lot lighter. Parker looks a lot lighter. Why do you think that he decided to come in as light as he has? Because the truth is, Joshua is significantly larger than him.
Well, I think he probably realized that Joshua would come in lighter too. I wasn't happy with 18-2 against Carlos Takam for Joshua. I thought he looked a little bit top heavy. I thought he was a bit flat on the night because of it, and I just think 17.5 stone for a guy of his size is about right. Parker, he normally weighs around about that, a little bit less. Is he going to come in lighter? Is he going to come in the 16s? I would imagine Joshua probably will come in somewhere around about 17.9. I think that's great. That's a great weight for him. But Parker, look, he looks in tremendous shape, and probably is lighter because he thinks he has the speed advantage, the hand speed. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. He's got to get past Joshua's jab, though. Vernon Forrest always used to tell me that jab beats speed, and you know, people were writing him off against Shane Mosey. Everyone says Shane Mosey is going to be much too fast for him, and Vernon says stick to the basics, stick to jab, and good timing and a good jab can sort of negate speed. And I wonder if Joshua gets hold of the middle of the ring, and he's a little bit lighter on his feet than usual, whether Parker will have a problem with that jab. But listen, it's going to be fascinating to see. Joe Parker's never lost. He's got you know, he looks like he's got a very tough durability factor about him. He's coming to win. He's got a big team around him. It's a huge opportunity for him.
Yeah. Well, Joshua actually has a 6-inch reach advantage, 2 inches in height. Do you think that's going to be all the difference Saturday night?
I think it probably will be. I mean, I think the bookies have got this way too wide. I think, you know, Joseph Parker has got a real chance in this fight because Joshua, listen, he's been, you know, real trouble against Vladimir Klitschko. He was hurt by Dillian White, no doubt about that. He was, you know, at times a little bit stale against Carlos Takam. Of course, he dominated totally, and he managed to get the 20th knockout in 20. But he's not the complete fighter, and he'll tell you that if he was standing here right now. So Joseph Parker's got to look at this as a massive opportunity. Yes, he's away from home. Yes, he's on the biggest stage he's ever faced, and yes, he's a big underdog. But you know, there is a chance. However, the advantages are all with Joshua, not just that big home stadium experience advantage and having been in with a better caliber of fighter too, but he has got the reach, he has got the power, he has got the size. I just think it's probably all weighing in that favor going to be the difference on the night. It just might be a bit too much for Parker. At
the press conference, did you notice anything, because you were sitting close to both guys, did you notice anything in their mannerisms that maybe gave off anything?
I think AJ was a little bit itchy at the presser at Sky on Tuesday. I think he was annoyed at what the Parker team were saying about the timekeeping, all that. He's a professional, Joshua, and I think that, you know, what has been obvious is that, you know, he's loved by the people, and you could see that at the workout. You know, he wants time with people, and you know, sometimes they've got to pull him, you know, out of that. It's very difficult because he doesn't want to say no to anyone. So I think he was a little bit maybe on edge about that, and you know, look, he's probably lost a bit of weight. He's probably not quite eating what he was for maybe the last camp, and he's got his serious face on. He certainly had it on Tuesday. It's business. It's a really important time for him, Joshua. You know, he can't, in his eyes, slip up now. There's the fights with Wilder and possibly Fury and all the stuff that lies ahead. This is a unification that he needs to get right. He was in a much better mood yesterday. He was really relaxed. He was wonderful, sort of around getting the kids in the ring, and he looked sort of happy. He looked back to himself, and I spent a bit of time with him afterwards, and the guys around him. He was just relaxed. He was back and right. So yeah, I think there's nothing to worry about with Joshua's demeanour. For Parker, I think he's looked chilled, cool, calm. He's taken it all in his stride since he's got over here. He's a pleasure to be around. His parents are wonderful. They're a lovely team. You know, they've been utterly professional, both camps, in all the stuff we've asked them to do. So we can ask for no more. It's up to them now. It's time almost to fight. They get the weigh-in out the way. It'll be fascinating to see what the difference is. I think they'll both look tremendous. I think they'll both look a bit lighter. And then look, 78,000 at the Principality. Nights like this we dream about, Michelle, and it's great to have them here in Britain. And this is the greatest time I remember in boxing, certainly for a long, long time.
What do you make of Dana White saying he would like to offer Anthony Joshua a $500 million contract?
Well, of course. You know, Dana White has made no secret of the fact that he loves boxing, that he wants to get into boxing, and what better way than trying to tempt AJ into his world, or certainly in some sort of joint world, maybe. You know, it's obvious that the bigger Joshua gets, the more people that are going to come hunting, come looking for him, coming to offer him all the big money. And listen, we've seen it all before, Michelle. Over the years, we've seen you know, the big fighters and the great names attract. Everyone wants to be a part of it. And I think what's great about Joshua is that, you know, he ticks all the boxes. You know, he's not just an unbeaten heavyweight with 20 knockouts who's exciting in the ring, but you know, he's attractive, he's personable, he's loved by all generations. You know, whether it's the young, whether my kids adore him, my mum adores him. It doesn't matter who it is. They all sort of want to marry him if they're girls, and if they're guys, they just love him. They think he's fantastic. They want to see him knock the next guy out, and they get close to him. And I think that personable and the personality thing puts him, you know, right up there on a sort of different level. And I think that's why, you know, Dana sees it, and everybody else, you know, Showtime want to keep going with him, HBO everybody wants Anthony Joshua, but of course he's got to keep winning, because, you know, one or two defeats, as we know, in the heavyweight division, things can change, things can turn. And my feeling is that there's a lot of great heavyweight fights out there to be made, and sometimes it doesn't matter if you win or lose, that we just want to see them happen. And I think we've got a great, exciting next couple of years ahead of us. Deontay
Wilder's obviously not coming Saturday night anymore. He's saying it's because he can't get into the ring post-fight. What do you make of the whole situation, and do you suggest that he get here?
Well, look, Deontay was going to come. He was going to work for Sky. One of the conditions was that he was going to get into the ring afterwards to challenge Joshua. I don't think Anthony wanted that to happen. Certainly, he spoke out in camp and said, "Look, I don't really want that to happen after the fight. This is about Parker and I. You know, we haven't got an agreement with Deontay." You know, Vladimir got in the ring in Manchester and they had an agreement. I think that was an issue from Joshua's side. I actually think if Deontay had been here, he probably would have just invited him in. I don't see the real problem with that. I said to Deontay, look, you know, come, you know, you'll be commentating with us, you'll be on the ring apron, you make a lot of noise, you'll be in front of all this media. I thought it was a sort of no-brainer to be here.
Tyson Fury sure didn't care when he jumped into his ring, Wilder's ring.
Tyson Fury just sort of flew over and just went straight in, and he certainly wasn't invited. So, you know, and that fight never happened. So, look, you don't know. Look, I wanted Deontay here. He had a great time in London at Wembley. He loved commentating. He loved the stage. The British fight fans loved Deontay Wilder. He's almost more popular here than he is back over there, and I think it's a shame. But listen, you know, he'll watch it, and we love going to New York and covering him and Luis Ortiz. And there's no doubt, Michelle, that this fight will happen, AJ and Wilder, at some point. I hope there'll be 2, 3 of them. I hope we'll be in Vegas. I hope we'll be at Wembley and all of that. I mean, I personally would like to see him fight Dillian White. I think if he fights Dillian White in June in London, he'll get a lot of love from the British fight fans. I think it will be a massive event, and I think then, you know, the winner fights the winner of AJ Parker, something like that. But look, you know, there's a lot of issues to get through. The fights, you know. Listen, we've got a fight here with AJ and Parker that we've got. If Parker wins, it changes the division again. If Ortiz had won, which he very nearly did, it would have changed again. Look, if Wilder and Joshua keep winning, there is no doubt they're going to fight. No doubt in my mind. And it will be massive when it happens.
Hey fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else